See if this still work. Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? See how this turns out, man. Because I know a lot of you haven't done a video in quite some time. So I'm see who shows up and try to chop it up with you guys, man, about the fight that took place tonight. Well, nighttime if you're in the over there in the UK, but over here it's bright and early still. Chop it up with y'all real quick about this fight, man. There goes 619. What's up, brother? Dimitri Counts, what's good? I know y'all ain't seen me in a hot minute. Been doing a lot of coaching. I'm actually out of town right now, playing in a tournament out in Iowa right now, man. So got back from the gym and had to watch the fight on my phone. Who else up in here? Marcus Hayes, what's good, bruh? Oh, Stormy B, man, what's good, Stormy? Derek Winston, what's good? Yeah, it's been a hot minute, man. Mala or Stephen 4722 changed his name. James Coleman, Xavier the Boxing Nerd, Joseph Brown, Shay Wynn. What's good, y'all? So, Tyson Fury, man. Okay, first let me just talk about the fight, right? It's ironic, right? It's ironic. What's good, Sheldon Holmes? It's ironic that Dillian Whyte gets stopped with an uppercut, right? We've seen him get stopped with an uppercut numerous times, man. He's just susceptible to it, man. The way his defense is when he put the high guard up and then he tires out a little bit, so he starts bending down, leaning into guys. And Fury set him up using the jab. And from what I remember, man, he wasn't even really using the uppercut like that. And he caught him off guard and caught him. But like I said, Dillian Whyte, Oscar Rivas caught him with an uppercut and dropped him. We know AJ knocked him out with an uppercut. We know Povetkin knocked him out with an uppercut. Tyson Fury knocked him out with an uppercut. So his defense against the uppercut, man, is pretty non-existent. Now the fight starts off right. If I can remember, man, I don't believe Dillian. I believe when Dillian Whyte fought the White Rhino. What's his name? What's his somebody in the chat know the White Rhino. When he fought him, I believe in that fight he was switching back lefty to righty. Dave Allen. When he was fighting Dave, I believe he was switching back lefty to righty in that fight. But really, Dillian Whyte isn't really a switch hitter like that, from what I can remember. Even in his early, fights against Journeyman, right? So when he came out like that, I was surprised. He came out southpaw. Fury wasn't falling for none of it. And then Fury comes out southpaw in the second round. I thought that was pretty funny. Lance Meyer was good, bro. And I thought that was pretty funny, right? But once all, that settled down, man, Tyson Fury just showed that he was just the superior boxer, man. First he was boxing and moving. And then he started, landing those big shots. And people do not view Fury as a power puncher. But the dude, what was he, 30... Was he 32-0, 24 knockouts, or 31-0 with 23 knockouts? So he has a nice KO percentage. It isn't George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder type of knockout percentage. But hey, man, my connection sucks, man. So hopefully I can get through this stream in this hotel room, man. But Dillian Whyte tried to do the body work. That's his name, the body snatcher, right? He tried to do the body work. He was throwing one punch at a time, one wild right hand at a time, and it was touching Fury's ribs. He was touching Fury's ribs, but he wasn't putting nothing behind it. He wasn't throwing twos and threes to the body. It was literally just wide looping right hands, wide looping left hooks, and they were touching Fury. You can start to see Fury start to get whelps on his side, from those body shots touching them, but that was it. Fury can take that all night, especially if you're not following up with twos and threes and fours, or going to the body, then coming upstairs with something, throw a, left and right hook to the body, then come upstairs with a left hook to set up, I believe, is his best punch. And it's just Fury's head movement. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay. Fury's head movement, man, was giving White problems. White didn't know how to. He just didn't know how to effectively cut off the ring on Tyson Fury. And then when he did, Tyson Fury just held on, just held him, mauled him down with his weight, and hold on, you guys, I'm trying to. Yeah, he just bored his weight on him, and Dillian Whyte didn't have no answers, man. It looked like Dillian Whyte was pretty much fatigued after round two to me, to be honest with you, man. But Tyson Fury, man, he's making his claim as the best heavyweight in the world, and it's by far. Now, I'm a big believer in Undisputed, and I would love to see him fight the winner out of Anthony Joshua and Usyk. I believe we need an undisputed heavyweight champion, just like in all weight class. I think we need an undisputed champion. And it's been quite a few undisputed matches going on. You got Devin Haney getting ready to fight Cambosis, undisputed. Castano and Charlo. Usyk went undisputed a couple years ago, cruiserweight. Terrence Crawford at 140. So we definitely need an undisputed heavyweight champion. We haven't had one since Lennox Lewis, man. This is going on about 22 years now, man. So really need to fix that. Yeah, when Lennox and Evander Holyfield fought both fights because they had a rematch. So this is getting kind of outdated now, man, not having a heavyweight champion. So hopefully we get one. But just on paper, you guys, and just looking at the landscape of it, he's by far, in a way, the best heavyweight. And right now, it's not even close. I know you could talk about some up-and-comers, Jared Anderson, and yeah, that's cool, maybe in the next 4 or 5 years. But right now, out of the crop of guys that are in that age of 33, 34, that's Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte, Deontay Wilder. I know what AJ's about 32, 33, so they're getting up there in age, man. Next 4 or 5 years, we're going to have a changeover in heavyweights. So then maybe we can have, Arslanbek Makhmedov or Jared Anderson or somebody like that step up to the fray, man, and start making some noise. But that was easy work. That was easy work, man. And Tyson Fury, man, when I seen that Dillian Whyte, hold on, you guys. When I was seeing that Dillian Whyte wasn't showing up to the presser, and when he finally did start coming to the event, to the build the fight up, him and Tyson Fury showing great respect for each other. They've had some history with each other, spar with each other, train with each other for months upon months at a time, stand with each other. So the respect was there, but Tyson Fury's making this just look easy, y'all. He hasn't really had in my opinion, I know some of you will probably disagree with me because a lot of you think that he whitewashed Wilder in that first fight. I actually scored that fight a draw. We know what happened in the next 2 fights, and it was easy work, pretty much. Then that third fight he did, now he did hit the canvas against Wilder, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't go completely unscathed, but the way he ended those fights in the second and third fight, man, that dude is a dominant heavyweight, and I don't really see anybody beating him right now, man, to be honest with you. Let me just pull up the landscape real quick. Let me go to the rankings really fast, man. I'm gonna chop it up with y'all. I just want to look at the rankings really quick. So let's go here. All right. WBC rankings. Now this is per Boxing Scene. I'm not sure how new these updates are, but I'm looking. I see Joe Joyce. Here he's going to fight Joseph Parker. Should be a good, entertaining fight. Frank Sanchez, he's a guy that likes to box and move. I just don't see him outboxing Tyson Fury. Andy Ruiz, I like Andy. Andy and Ortiz supposed to be fighting, right? Or at least that's what I'm hearing talks about. Arslanbek Makhmedov, the heavy-handed, undefeated prospect. Philippe Hrgovic, a guy who I said will win the heavyweight title. I said that in 2015, so we'll see if that comes true. But I'm seeing Tony Yoka, Michael Hunter, who I like. Otto Wallin, he fought him. Ajay Kabayel. Kabayel, he's from Germany. German, undefeated fighter. Robert Helenius, Martin Bacole. Bacole's supposed to fight somebody. I seen him in the lines for somebody. Then Daniel Dubois. I don't know if it was Dubois, but I really don't see nothing here, man. I don't see anything here. Zhili Zhang, I don't, Marat Gassiev, who was a cruiser. They got heavy hands, but Dempsey McKean out there in Australia, Charles Martin. This is easy work. unless he has an off night. Like, he is by far the best heavyweight right now, and it's not even close. Trying to think something else I can say about this fight. It was pretty much just easy. Dillian Whyte couldn't get no body work going. He wasn't trying to do no feints to get Fury's hands out of place. He was just coming forward, easy to read, one big looping shot at a time. When he did try to get physical with Fury and, hit him in the clinch and have him on the ropes, that's Fury's game. A lot of people had it mistaken. They think Fury is just this back foot fighter. And how was he able to knock out this guy? He really doesn't like to get down and dirty. But it's like, bro, if you go back and watch the fight he had against McDermott, or the fight he had against Nikolai Furta, or how he beat down Chisora, or the Wilder second and third fight, the fight against Otto Wallin, like, he loves banging like that. It's just that sometimes he can get on the back. He can beat you in so many ways. That's what makes him so dangerous, and that's what makes him, to me, the best heavyweight right now. And it's really not even close. Now, he has to fight Usyk, but I think he's bigger, stronger, and can do Usyk better than Usyk, in my opinion. Now, you may say Usyk moves around quicker on his feet because he's a lighter guy, shorter, doesn't weigh as much, but okay, that's semantics, man. Really, his footwork is just as good as Usyk's, in my opinion, when he wants to use it. His head movement is just as good. Usyk is probably a little bit more, throws in combinations a little bit more and bounces around a little bit more, but this is just easy, man. It's just looking really easy right now for Tyson Fury. Let me go ahead and see what you guys are talking about. I'm not gonna be here long, man. Let me see here. Fury knocked out Whyte with the push. Nah, there you go, man. He hit him with a motherfucking uppercut, and that push was pretty much just like he was falling anyways. I think, because what I believe is he threw the uppercut on Whyte, hit him with it, and he probably thought Whyte was still gonna come boring forward, and he just pushed him, and he happened to fall. It wasn't no push like that. And if it was a push, well, Tyson Fury needs to go out there and push everybody to a knockout, because Dillian Whyte was out of it. That wasn't no push, and the ref ran in there and counted 10 real quick, man. That was a knockout. But it's good seeing you, though. There you go. It's been some years, man. Let me see. Whiskey says, let's see Whyte versus Parker 2. Has Parker versus Joyce been announced? I seen it on the Zone website. They're just talking about it. I'm not sure if it's announced, though. Somebody, correct me if I'm wrong if it is. Sniper 11 ND was good, man. He says he's the best heavyweight on the planet at the moment. Yeah. Oh, no, you say he is. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Tyson, let me see, says, I make every fight look boring because I'm the greatest. Ghetto Genius says Tyson Fury's the king. He's a king in the heavyweight division. All this other, I'm not. Let me see. Say, S. Clayton was good, man. I'm going to knock out the king of the UFC. But yeah, okay. Martin Bacole versus Tony Young. Okay, all right, that's gonna be a good one. Bacole likes to come in there and bang. He doesn't run away from a scrap. Even that fight that he lost, man, he went in there and tried to bang with Michael Hunter. You know what I'm saying? And he was actually giving Michael Hunter the business. Good thing Michael Hunter, for him, he has a good chin and some stamina, because he was taking some heavy shots himself in that fight. IE says best heavyweight in the world. The bar must be set mad low. I don't know, bro, but he handed out, to use your words, mad ass whoopings like this. So you can, and that's your opinion, i.e., the bar set low. I'm just looking at like the he's setting the bar to some good ass whoopings is what I'm seeing. And his style isn't, going to be likable by everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's the most exciting heavyweight you've ever seen in your life, but Lion Killer was good, bro. Stephen 47, he says, Fury could have fought in the 90s and done well, though I don't think he would have come through undefeated. The 90s had to, and then it depends, because you got to break it up into the early 90s and the late 90s. You dig what I'm saying? Because them early 90s still had hanger-ons from the late and mid 80s, like the Greg Pages and the Tim Witherspoons and the Ray Mercers, and the list goes on and on, right? And then more in the late 90s is when you start having guys, My bad. I'm watching this Celtics and Nets game, man. But in the late '90s, when you had David Tua, Kabayel, Bucci, Galata was coming up in there. Just a lot of guys, man. You dig what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that '90s was rough, and he would have had some big. Well, shit, he's bigger than them, but them motherfuckers punched hard, and they knew how to fight as big men. There's some guys right now that are 6'4", 6'5". They're looking at guys like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury and guys like Robert Helenius who are 6'8", 6'7". And then you got 6'4" guys that are fighting like small guys, like fighting how like Frazier and Tyson used to fight. So it's kind of funny watching a 6'4" guy trying to, go in there and bang like that, and not using his jab and utilizing footwork and feints. You dig what I'm saying? So I definitely think the road would have been tougher for anybody in this era. Michael Douglas had some really good hand speed in them '80s. And then obviously Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, and the list goes on and on, man. Let me see here. Mark Wonderly was good, man. He says, touch that like button, everyone. That's what's up, man. S. Clayton says, okay, I see you guys are going back and forth with each other. EJ Box Live, what's good, bro? Yeah, that was a really good KO, man. Caught him with the uppercut, set it up with the jab, and we know, like in EJ, I'm sure you know, man, Dillian Whyte, can never get out of the way of a good uppercut, right? The Oscar Rivas fight, the AJ fight, the Povetkin fight, and now this Tyson Fury fight. Retros for Life, 79 Boxing, what's good, man? Buchan, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, man, but he says Usyk could put up a fantastic show against Tyson because he gets busy and always eager to throw combinations of punches. You're right. And he has really good footwork, and he has good head movement, and he'll give you some angles. But I'm curious to see now, okay, I have seen Usyk fight in the World Series of Boxing against Joe Joyce, Matteo Madungno, guys who are like 6'7", 6'6". But this is a different breed right here, because this ain't just a big plotter coming after you where Usyk can utilize like the shit he was using against AJ. AJ, try to fight Usyk's game. The thing about Fury, that's his game too. He got some of everything. From what I see, he can inside, he can bang with you, fight dirty if you want to, lean on you, smother you, use elbows under the neck, or he can get on that back foot and use that jab and set up punches. And he has a good chin. That's another thing. So, but that'd be a good fight, man. Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Good in the sense of undisputed. But I would definitely favor Tyson Fury in that fight. Although I did make a video in 2016, it's on my channel, where I said Usyk, who was a cruiserweight at the time, is going to move up to heavyweight and he's going to make some noise. Did I think he's going to be a unified champion? No. I ain't going to lie to you about that. But I did make that video, though. Matt S. was good, man. He says, good to see you back, mate. Been too long. Hope you're well and back. Posting on the regular again. Hopefully I can, man. I've been just doing a lot of coaching. Right now I'm out of town. We're in Iowa right now at the basketball tournament. Coaching 8th grade and 5th grade. D-Style was good, man. Easy work for Fury. Yes, very easy. He says many pick White because they believe White was competing with a superior crop of heavyweights. They felt White was better than Wilder. I don't know how they would come to that conclusion, but yeah, D-Style, I seen your video, man, when you were chopping it up about that very topic right there. And yes, he's beaten Lucas Brown and had the fights with Trisura, but dude, he was going tooth and nail with all them dudes, man. The Rivas fight, shit, debatable in my opinion, if I can remember correctly. The Parker fight, definitely debatable. Now he did spark Trisura in that second fight. There's no ifs, but Trisura was winning on the card, and then the fight before that was debatable too. The fight with Helenius, he won the fight handily, but Helenius stunned him. I believe it was like a uppercut / left hook type uppercut thing where kind of Buzz White. So he don't go unscathed in his fights, man. He has to like fight tooth and nail for some of these victories. You dig what I'm saying? And then the fights with Povetkin. So Retros for Life. He says White's chin is like a clap on light switch. Yeah, especially for a damn uppercut. S. Clayton says, bang on. He's a complete heavyweight, not only boxes and moves well, but has enough power to keep opponents off. Yes, and if people keep running in here thinking he's some feather duster. Now, look, I know Deontay Wilder was saying that he's, feather fisted and he got pillows and all that. But if other fighters are really believing that, they're going to be in a world of hurt. A world of hurt, man. Because there's one thing you're going to go in there and take it to him, and that sounds good. Until he wraps you up like an octopus and leans on you. And you know what I'm saying? He's outweighing you by 30, 40 pounds. Now, I'm a big believer in you fight enough, somebody going to whoop your ass. Whether it's age catches up or just somebody, has a good night and crack that chin. Or so if he fights enough, he's going to eventually lose. But right now, it's not even close, man. Like, it's, in my opinion. Now, I do want to see him fight Usyk and AJ because anything can happen. But right now, just look without that fight taking place, just ranking them by the eye test and how they look and who they beat, this is not even close, man. He dominated Klitschko. Was it the best fight you ever seen? No. Was it the most exciting? No. But he dominated. The first Wilder fight, I had it a draw, and so did the judges had it a draw. Then the next two fights, pretty much. Well, the second fight was easy. The third fight, he did have to get his ass up off the canvas. He had a rocky fourth round. Yo, I went back and watched that fight the other day. Bro, I do not know how Tyson Fury was standing up to some of them right hands. And it wasn't just the right hands Wilder was throwing that knocked him down. I'm talking about just, damn, I wish I had the timestamp, man, because I watched it the other day again. But Wilder was landing some good right hands on Fury in that third fight. He was eating them motherfuckers like M&Ms. He just kept coming forward, just walking through them, man. So, Bruce, what's good, man? Bruce, Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. I see you change your name. Let me see here. Trick Noty, what's up, man? But yeah, definitely. Now I'm trying to look at, what's on the horizon, man, as far as some up and comers, and I really don't see nothing changing, man. Anything can happen, but I really don't see nothing changing as far as knocking him off. Like I said, in the next 3 or 4 years, because it's like every 4 to 5 years where the division kind of changes over a little bit, because that's like the halfway point of a decade, and you got the back half of a decade, so kind of it changes over a little bit. But right now, it's easy work. It is easy work for Tyson Fury. White just had nothing to offer, man. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. And Tyson Fury's doing this thing, man, where he has got dudes showing up to press conferences who are usually boisterous and got a lot to say, and they're like not talking. Like when he had Wilder not talking, I know people's all Wilder didn't, there was nothing to talk about, there was nothing to say. Like, right, I get it, man, but to put headphones on, that whole thing that Wilder did, right? Then the shit with Dillian Whyte when he wasn't showing up at first to some of these pressers, it was like, damn, and this dude was the noisiest. I went 2,500 days without a title shot, and telling anybody that'll listen to him, and then as soon as he was shot, he really had much to say. Now you can say, oh, Mr. Boxing, he was putting his head down in his training camp, trying to block out the outside media. Okay, yeah, cool, man. Yeah. But I just think these dudes know they got an uphill battle, man, and they don't want to get into that verbal back and forth with Tyson Fury because they may feel as if they're going to lose that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. What do I really know? They probably had legit reasons as to why they wanted to ignore Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? But it just looked like he has the gift for gab, and he can administer an ass whooping too. You know what I'm saying? So, see what y'all talking about though, man. First round's on me. Says salute. Good to finally see you back. Yep. Mac Boxing, what's good, man? Long time subscriber. He says, been a minute, Mr. Boxer. Was good, sir. Just chilling, man. Just got an opportunity to watch this massacre that just took place. I did get Dillian Whyte the first round, and it was because it was they both really wasn't doing nothing, but it seemed like just White was a little bit more active as Fury tried to figure out why the hell is he going southpaw? Do I look like Dave Allen? You know what I'm saying? Why the hell is the dude going southpaw against me? You know? Um, I wonder how much time Dillian Whyte put in the gym going southpaw. Or is that something he just did on the fly to try to rattle Fury? And then Fury answered him back with the mind games. He came in the second round and he went southpaw. But the thing is, I think Fury's much more comfortable switch hitting than Dillian Whyte. Um, yeah, that was just a nasty uppercut, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. The first 4 or 5 rounds, I was looking like, man, I think Tyson Fury might try to use the back foot on Dillian and drag him into the late rounds. And just uppercuts, man. Just Dillian Whyte, he cannot get out of the way of a good uppercut. Captain Rhodes says Whyte is a match for Fury verbally for sure. Yeah, but Rhodes, he didn't show it. Now, again, when they did, it was live, and I did see the interview that Dillian Whyte did with some of the was like a toilet and all that. But I'm talking about initially. You know what I'm saying? Initially. You said some people say it's a fix. The only fix I saw was him fixing a whoop on him fixing a whoop on Dillian Whyte's ass. That's the only fix I saw. I not who's saying it was a fix. I don't see how you can look at that fight and call it a fix. But in my eyes, it just looked like just how the fight was going to go. Outbox him, keep him away with the long reach and the jab. Dillian Whyte's a plotter. He doesn't have the quickest feet, doesn't have the best head movement, gasses out pretty quickly, even in fights he wins. So, fix. I don't know if you're trolling or not, man, but I don't see how people can say that was a fix. I have to hear whoever said that their point of view as to why they believe it was a fix. People say, okay, this dude just trolling. He act like Tyson Fury. So I don't even know if you even telling the truth about people saying it was a fix. Let's see here. So who y'all got in that Usyk and well, I'm on 9%. Man, I only got a few more minutes, y'all. But who do y'all got in that AJ versus Usyk? First rounds on me says just FYI, my old name was Be Easy. Okay, yep, bet. Okay, yeah, I remember you says when Whyte didn't show up to the presser, I immediately thought he was shook. Not having something to say was out of character for him. Yeah, especially as many days as he's claimed to, been denied a title shot. You know, you thought he would come to the presser and have a lot to say, but he didn't really have. And once I was seeing that, I'm like, yeah, Fury's getting in these dudes' head. Now again, Dillian Whyte may come on here and say, hey man, I was just trying to you know what I'm saying? I was just trying to focus on my training and all that. But yeah, man, but come on, it's your fight. This whole thing of, hey, there's nothing to promote. Like, I like when the guys meet face to face and go back and forth with the verbal. You know? It just builds the fight, something for us to talk about, something for us to look at as far as entertainment. Now, we know the outcome is going to happen in the ring, but it's okay to build your fight up. Some guys take that too serious, like, especially if you a guy that has a gift of gab, you like talking shit, and then all of a sudden you don't want to talk shit no more. You're focused now. You know what I'm saying? So, but maybe he just thought, like I said, that he couldn't get to Fury. Maybe there's not that vitriol there. Maybe there's not that hate there, that animosity that he had with an AJ or going into the Chisora fight. Maybe it just wasn't there. Or what I thought he would have had he fought Deontay Wilder, or what I thought he would have had. The verbal sparring. 747, you got Usyk. I was thinking you got Usyk over Tyson Fury, but no, I asked the question about Usyk versus AJ. Yeah, I think Wilder would have definitely slept Dillian Whyte. And even 3-4 years ago when Whyte was calling for the fight and saying Wilder was ducking him, so on and so forth, even then I thought he would have knocked him out. Because he would have kept that reach, he would have kept the reach on him, and Dillian Whyte doesn't move his head offline all that great. He's getting hit. He's definitely going to get hit. And he definitely doesn't have the type of chin or recovery that a guy like Tyson Fury has. I'd love to see Wilder back in the ring, man. But I guess we'll see what he wants to do. But he's getting up there in age, man. So if he does want to come back, want to, make a decision quick here, in my opinion. Dimitri Khan says the fans turned on White during the fight. He really wasn't doing shit though, man. To be honest with you, he wasn't really doing anything. It was one shot to the stomach, high guard, plot around, hold. One shot to the stomach, wide left hook that missed, wide right hand that missed. So yeah, I would have turned shit. I would have turned them too. Wasn't doing shit. Count Drago says Fury versus Usyk for Undisputed needs to happen. I've got Forrest with the 11th round upset KO over Povetkin. Yo, Forrest has been a part of some weird decisions his last few fights, man. So Pulev, if he's fighting Forrest, he better come with it. I know Pulev just fought in, or was that his brother that fought bare knuckle or some shit? I forget, but Forrest not gonna be easy. He's not gonna be a cakewalk. Derek Winston says Canelo undercard. I'm not sure what you mean, bro. What you mean Canelo undercard? What that mean? Are you talking to somebody else? Or he says, how do you feel about Zhili Zhang versus Philippe Hrgovic? It's on the Camelot. Oh, okay, all right. So I see what you. Okay, Zhang has a big left hand, Olympic pedigree. Hrgovic has a big right hand, Olympic pedigree. I think Hrgovic is a little bit more busier. And I think his jab is better. I think he sets up his shots better. He is kind of upright, but he kind of puts me in the mindset of the way, I'm not saying he's this guy, but kind of puts me in the mindset with his style and his delivery, the way he throws his double jabs and right hands, and he kind of stands straight up with his hands, kind of like a Vitaly Klitschko, not Vladimir, but Vitaly in a way. And I thought Vitaly was better than Vladimir, but kind of puts me in that mindset. But I'm gonna go with Hrgovic in that one, man. But again, I've seen Zhili Zhang land that left hand on people, man, and he can put you to sleep. What was the dude that walked out the ring against F.A. Jack? I forget his name. Curtis Harper. That's that fight that Zhang, I think that was his most impressive knockout. And Harper ain't all that. I know the shit he did against Jack, but makes, leave a sour taste in people's mouth, man. But he actually had a barn burner against Chris Arreola some years ago. Curtis Harper did. Let me see how much. Okay. Abikin says Joe Joyce against Tyson Fury would be a fantastic fight to watch out for in the future. Yeah, I think Fury would. Joe Joyce, slow-mo Joe. But the thing about slow-mo Joe, when he lands them thudding punches, he does damage. Ask Daniel Dubois. Ask, who else did he fight? Was it Bryant Jennings? Ask Bryant Jennings. But he gets hit. They all get hit, right? Everybody gets hit, but his defense isn't grade A, but his defense is like his offense, man. And Joe just keep coming. Kind of put you in the mindset. And again, I'm not saying he's this guy. I'm just saying stylistically and just watching him kind of looks like a young George Foreman. I'm not saying he's George Foreman, all right? I'm just saying that type of style, even though George was doing little subtle things I think Joe does, but I still think George's jab was better and his head movement was underrated. Especially go back and watch those fights. George will move his head and do this type of thing. People tend to forget that if you go watch some of his older fights when he was a young George Foreman. But so don't go run and make a video saying Mr. Boxing said Joe Joyce is George Foreman. I'm just saying that type of style kind of puts me in that mindset of a young Big George. And you guys know Big George, Larry Holmes, and Ali are my 3 favorite fighters of all time. But Joe Joyce got his hands full with Parker. If that fight, and I heard about it, because Parker got some quick hands. Once upon a time I was saying Parker and Andy Ruiz, as far as throwing combinations, that they were the two, that both those guys had two of the fastest hands in the division. You know what I mean? So Parker can run some shots, but I want aggressive Parker. And Parker's been going around, I know he's with Tyson Fury, but I need an aggressive Parker, man. Somebody's going to let his hands go to the body, be a dog in there. Not that nice Joseph Parker. I don't like the nice Joseph Parker in the ring. Count Drago says, Ruiz fighting on Triller bummed me out. Wanted to see Ruiz versus Ortiz. I'd like to see Wilder return against Helenius and NY. Is Hunter finished? I'm not sure if Hunter is finished, man. Hopefully he's not. I did hear about Ruiz and Tyrone Spong. Spong is a guy that was a world champion and was a kickboxing or K1 like that. I did a prospect watch video on Tyrone Spong about 5 years ago on my channel. Right here, son. That I did on my channel. And I thought, and Spong has a split decision victory over a Ecuadorian former Olympian, Yote Pereira, which I thought Pereira won that fight against Spong. But Spong does have a tendency to throw some explosive shots, overhand rights, and big left hooks, but I think Andy eats him up, though, man. Not literally, you know what I'm saying? But because we know Andy sometimes can balloon and weight like that. But Andrew Charles was good. Rick Paxek, he's running from Usyk. Who's running from Usyk? Speaking of Usyk and AJ, though, man, AJ got to come in and fight like a big man. He can't come in there and try to, dude, don't try to fight like a prime Larry Holmes and Ali. That's just not you. Be the big 6'6", 250-pound man that you are. Walk him down with double jabs to the body. Don't go head hunting and make shit count upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Be aggressive, man. I'd rather see you lose being aggressive like that than lose trying to fight Usyk's fight. Fight off the, make you miss, play the make you miss game like with Usyk. You're going to miss more often. You know what I'm saying? So he needs to just fight like a big man. Work behind that jab and double jab. Stick that jab to that chest. Don't go head hunting. Stick that jab, aim for that throat and that chest so you can get some leather on him to slow him down and then crash right hands on him and wipe his nose with a left hook. I'm no trainer. I'm no professional fighter, but from my point of view, look like that will work more than, okay, you make me miss. I'm gonna make you miss. You throw a 1-2. I'm gonna throw a 1-2. You did a 1-2 and dip. I'm gonna do a 1-2 and dip. Like, come on, man, you can't beat Usyk at that. Tyson Fury can because he has the reach and he can have that type of style, and he's comfortable working with that type of style. And he has even a longer reach than AJ, I believe. That's not AJ's style, man. Now, maybe AJ may be a little hesitant, a little leery. A lot of fans think that AJ doesn't want to go in there and have a dust up with people because of what happened in the fight with Andy Ruiz. But at the same time, man, you live by this, so you gotta die by it, man. Like, this is who you are. People thought it's the new AJ when he fought against Andy Ruiz in that second fight. I thought he made the proper adjustments for said opponent. But that doesn't mean, oh, that's you now. Even in the Pulev fight, he dominated, but there was opportunities in there Pulev could have took, but he just didn't. You know what I'm saying? I thought in that fight, AJ was there for the taking, in my opinion, because when they got close and Pulev, when they wrap up and Pulev land a little clubbing shot in close that really don't hurt, I was really paying attention to that. And AJ didn't even like that. You know what I mean? When they were clinching, he was just getting hit with little clubbing shots with nothing behind it. He didn't even like that. Count says Aja Kabayel versus Otto Wallin. One more thing about Spong. He hasn't fought since like 2019 as well, man. So, but as far as Wallin and Kabayel, I will go with Wallin because Kabayel by now, man, I know he has the win over Chisora. He's beat Andre Hrgovic. I'm trying to do this shut top of my head, y'all. Andre Hrgovic. Those are his best wins, right? Wallin's a little bit better than I thought he was, man. And he proved it in the Fury fight. He proved it in the Brazil fight, man. He's better than I thought he was. Coming out of Sweden, it looks stupid now, but I actually had Adrian Granat as the better prospect than Wallin 4 or 5 years ago. And then he actually fought Granat and beat him. But when both guys were undefeated, I thought Granat was the, because Granat had beat, what's the dude that beat Mike Tyson, man? From the UK. I can see his face. Danny Williams. He had beat Danny Williams. And he has some impressive, one-punch knockouts, albeit against journeymen. You know what I mean? But I just thought Grenal was a better prospect than Wallin. But Wallin has been in some really good training camps. He's actually trained with AJ. He was helping AJ train when AJ was training for his title shot against Charles Martin. But to answer your question, man, I'm picking Wallin. But Kabayel can move a little bit. Kabayel can move a little bit, throwing combinations. But I'll definitely pick Wallin in that fight. Abucuna says AJ needs to be aggressive and throw combinations of shots and not rely mainly on jabs from the outside. You're right, brother. Yeah, so we agree on that, man. I'm just watching it like, dude, be the big... Man, I was getting frustrated watching it, and I really didn't have a dog in the fight, but I'm just like, I don't want to see a big man fighting like he's Chris Bird. And nothing against Chris Bird, but that was, what I'm saying? Let me see. All right, man. I had my damn phone died, so I got my charger. I'm gonna see who all pop back up in here. Let's see who all up in here. Y'all sit up in here with me, man. Let me see who here. Let's see. Wait till y'all fall back up in here, man. My phone died. Got it on the charge now. Might as well just keep talking boxing, right? I ain't made a video in about a year. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see who all come back up in here. Okay, you still here? All right. I don't know where we left off at, man. Somebody, what y'all want to talk about, man? I ain't been on here in a while, man. I'm surprised I can still remember half the shit I was talking about as far as who's fought who and all these, fighters from the heavyweight division. But I guess when you do so much research, man, and it just kind of sticks in your brain. I'm a little rusty, though, with, who fought who and who's getting ready to fight who. MG, okay, so first rounds on me says still here, bro. Okay, bet. MG is here, says, hey, Mr. Box, today I can't declare Tyson as the best heavyweight in the world until he fights some of the more highly ranked competitors. And I totally understand that when I'm basing it off of, okay, for it to be crowned for me, to put the cherry on top, I would like an undisputed fight. All right. But just looking at the landscape that's out there, and if I had to rate who I think is the best, it's Tyson Fury. You say more highly ranked competitor. Okay, so just having a discussion, y'all. Who, in your opinion, MG, who are some of the more highly ranked guys you think that he should fight? I know you got Joyce out there, Ortiz out there, Ruiz out there. Guys like that, or who exactly you have in mind? Usyk, AJ. So I mean, yeah, I get it, but just looking at the landscape, man, doesn't really seem close. Kings, he says, good to see you back on YouTube, bro. No doubt, man. So who would y'all like to see Tyson Fury fight next? I don't got those BC. Hey son, go back to the to your Safari, and I was looking at boxing scene. Look at the WBC rankings for heavyweights, and who's the number one contender? Daniel Dubois. That's that, man. I see Fury sparking him, man. He's just too stiff, and he can punch, and he's young, but he doesn't move his head enough. He eats jabs for dinner, because that's what Joyce did to him, was busting him up with the jab, and Joyce was landing some right hands too and jabs, but it was the jab that was starting everything. And Fury's a much quicker puncher than him. Who's number two? Michael Hunter. Hunter's a guy that can switch from righty to lefty, smaller heavyweight, but he got some dog in him. But he kind of almost, that but his style against Fury, man, I just see. And I like Mike Hunter because he has grit, man. But I'm just not. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think he beats no Tyson Fury, man. Not right now. Um, King says only people I see beating Fury is Joshua and Usyk. Can't see anyone else. NG is here. Says I want to see Fury fight. Okay, so the guys that I named pretty much in Hrgovic. Okay, all right, I get it. I get it. I get it. And again, like I was saying, man, if these guys if this crop of the top guys let 3-4 more years go by, these guys are going to be considered old fighters. You know what I mean? Because the AJs, the Furies, the Wilders, the Usyks, the Joyces, like all those guys are in like that 33 to 36 type of age range. We don't got no none of those guys are young whippersnappers. Nobody's 24 years old or anything like that. You know, so they got experience. I will say that with the age, but you know, and you know, a lot of fans and pundits over the years of me, you know, following the sport say that heavyweights age a little bit differently. You know, so maybe some of these guys will, you know, get a little bit better with age in their latter years, but I guess we'll see. Derek Winston says, is Dubois still fighting Trevor Bryan? Yeah, from what last I heard, I know they were in talks to get that made. Would love to see Trevor Bryan that type of fight. You know, I know he fought Stavern and he has a fight over BJ Flores and all that, but man, funny story about Trevor Bryan, man. I think Trevor, man, to get his name out there, and I know he has the, you know, he's the, what is he, the regular WBA title holder or whatever. He needs to start doing more interviews and getting his name out there more, man. I tried to, and I brought this up before, man, I tried to post, there was a guy on Facebook that actually had the highlights from Trevor Bryan versus BJ Flores, the fight, because he was actually at the fight. The fight wasn't televised. But this guy, he, you know, does news reporting. I think he fought Flores in Phoenix, I want to say, Phoenix, Arizona. Whatever city they were in, this guy on Facebook was, you know, just doing a report on the fight. So he had footage of the knockdowns and stuff. So I seen it on Facebook, and I got it from the guy, you know, got his permission to use the footage, got permission to use the footage, and put it on my YouTube page. Man, about 3 days later, I get a cease and desist from Don King Promotions or whatever, from his lawyer, talking about the footage. And I'm sitting there like, so then I went on YouTube like, bro, there's like nothing of Trevor Bryan on the internet of him knocking this dude out. And then he even sent that same letter to the dude I got it from on Facebook to his media outlet. And I'm sitting there like, so bro, so Don King, you don't want nobody to see the highlights? Like, it was crazy, man. Once I saw that, I didn't even want to make no more videos about Trevor Bryan. Nothing against him personally. It was like, I might be threatened to get sued. I just never got that. I'm like, dude, don't you want as many eyes on his, you know, that performance against BJ Flores? I thought it was just crazy, man. Santonio Entertainment was good, man. Let me see here. But as far as Dubois versus Trevor Bryan, I think Bryan has Stacey I don't think he has Stacey McKinley in his corner, who has trained a plethora of heavyweights, Povetkin, Mike Tyson, Shannon Briggs. I mean, the list goes on. I'll be sitting here forever. So he does have Stacey McKinley, who has those old school ways. He's gonna make him go out there and fight like a big man, use his jab and the right hand. To me, it's about Trevor Bryan being in the best shape possible, because some of these last fights I've seen him make look like he was carrying too much weight, in my opinion. Now, he won the fights, all right, but just, but I definitely think Dubois got more in the gas tank than Stavern and BJ Flores, for sure. You dig what I'm saying? So, he has good boxing fundamentals, right? I'm talking about Bryan. Sparred a lot around with Shannon Briggs when down in the gym down there in the floor. I think that gym is closed now. The one down there in Florida that they used to all be at, where Shannon Briggs used to make all those videos at. The Heavyweight Factory. That was the name of it. So he's done a lot of sparring Bryan has there. Getting tips from Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe, who are pretty much at that gym damn near all the time. I wanted Bryan to fight against Jarell Miller a few years back. You guys, go on my channel and check that out if you don't remember when Trevor Bryan and when Trevor Bryan and Jarell Miller were going back and forth with each other on social media, and Jarell Miller had went down to that gym, damn near got into it with Stavern. That's why Stavern's on my brain, because he damn near got into it with Stavern. I remember that was like 2016, 2017 when all that was going on. And Trevor Bryan and Miller was saying that they wanted to fight on Showtime, and Showtime, let's get this fight, and it never happened. So to see Trevor Bryan in there against Dubois, it's going to be a test. And but he has the boxing skills to give Dubois some trouble now. You know what I mean? But Dubois got some heavy hands. But his opponents aren't going to forget that Joyce fight. So they're going to try to go in there and try to break his will. Mess his eye up. If it's an eye up, for instance, try to break his nose. Just pretty much crush his will. King says, hold on, let me get to this one. First rounds on me says Joseph Parker is 30. Ruiz is JP's on. Yeah, JP was one of the younger guys. Ruiz is like 32. I'm not sure there's an intriguing matchup for him in the current crop of heavyweights. I need to see some of these guys fight each other. Yeah, definitely. Now, I will say they've been fighting each other more often. Now, I know a few years ago, man, like 2015, 2016, bro, we had like 9 undefeated dudes running around saying that they were the best. That was getting so annoying, man. You had like Wilder, Fury, AJ. It was a whole bunch of a whole lot of guys run around saying they're the best. And that's one of my pet peeves, man. When you look at a top 10 and 7 dudes are undefeated and all 7 says everybody's running from them. That shit's annoying. So I will say guys have been fighting each other more in the last 3 or 4 years. We got Parker White, Parker AJ, unifications, Wilder Fury 3 times, Usyk AJ, and the list goes on and on. Wallin versus Brazil, like different mixes and matches. You dig what I'm saying? But definitely want to see more shit. I ain't saying that's enough. We got, the beat keeps going, so we can't just stop. King says, what's happening with Andy Ruiz? I was meant to be Spong. Now I'm hearing he signed with, you said Ruiz again, but I know you meant to say Ortiz. It should be in there. If you got to look for it, son. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, I kind of went over that already, Kings, about the thing with Spong. I think he beat Spong. But I broke down Spong and a fight I actually thought Spong lost. Yoti Pereira, I thought he lost that fight. It was a split decision, but I see Andy beating him. Hey, that fight Andy had with Areola was a really good. I didn't do a breakdown of it or a post fight, but that was a really good Yo, just because I'm not on here, you guys, I'm still watching all the heavyweight stuff, man. I just haven't been able to really get on and make videos like I have been able to, when I first joined YouTube was at 2009. So MG is here, says, I think Jared Anderson will make some noise in a couple years. I like what I'm seeing so far. Yeah, got good technical skills. Tyson Fury ain't going to keep you around in his camp if you're not bringing good work. No high-level fighter is going to keep anybody that I know of, from what I've heard behind the scenes with camps. They send you home. I remember Manuel Stewart was big on that. He'll send you home. You're getting your ass whooped. You're not. First of all, you're going to get hurt. And second of all, you're not helping the fighter that I'm training for his big fight. So I say that to say, if Jared Anderson wasn't giving Tyson Fury good work, he wouldn't be there. All right. And what I've seen in his fights, he's been surgical in those fights. Now, I did see he was going to have a fight with Christian Hammer, who's a rugged veteran, that's been in there with some of who's who, Tyson Fury, Ortiz, and the list goes on and on. So that would have been a good test for the youngster to see how he deals with a rugged veteran. But can't wait to see Jared Anderson back in the ring again. Him and Miller got to get in the ring, man, because we can't be in America with 2 dudes calling themselves Big Baby with the same moniker. Like, they need to fight about that. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see that fight. Now, Jared Anderson, he's the real Big Baby. And speaking of both of the big babies, Jarell Miller was in camp with Tyson Fury helping him out. So I would love to see Jarell Miller versus Jared Anderson, to be honest with you. And yes, I agree, MG. He is young, refreshing, something we need. His attitude and personality is a lot different than Wilder and Parker and White. He's got it's just a breath of fresh air, man, to see the youngster. But I would definitely want to see him back in the ring soon. Let me see. King Doak says Ruiz versus Ariel was entertaining. Ariel made him take a knee, I think, or a knockdown. They might be in my bag. If they're not, I gotta come look for it. I'll be off in a second. Did you talk about Fury retiring yet? Man, Fury ain't going nowhere. I don't believe that. Zone, what's good, bro? Good to see Zone 6 in the building, man. We go back a long, long way. Damn, we're like a decade. King says, yeah, but San Antonio Entertainment, I don't believe that shit, man. And if he does retire, you know how these fighters are. He might have one of them, I don't know how many of y'all is football fans, man, American football. Tom Brady just retired. And then came back like a week later, you know what I mean? So, especially when boxers say they're retiring, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And if he does, shit, for how long? Because you can retire for 6 months. Retirement don't mean you're going to stop forever. Zone 6 says facts. Yeah, man. Like, they start talking that retirement shit, bro. Tyson Fury still got some good fights in him left, and he's going to leave a lot of money on the table. But Mr. Boxing, I don't know what he has, but I know just by looking at what he's done these last few fights, he garners a lot of money, man. It's he hasn't been beaten to a pulp or lost 6, 7, or not 6, but like 3 fights in a row or anything like that. They still got a lot left, so I don't see Tyson Fury retiring. Plus, he's a competitor. He's going to get that itch. He's going to get that competitive itch, man, where he's looking around like, you know what, man, get back in the ring. He's going to be watching the TV. If he does retire, he's going to be watching TV, seeing guys that he, in his head, believes that he can easily beat. So, at age, what is he, 33, 39, I don't think he's retiring, man. Exactly, Zone 6, exactly how Floyd retired in 07, and dude still, it's 2022, and this motherfucker's still fighting in exhibitions and all types of shit. Let me see, yeah, they here. Really's joining me late. I'm in the hotel. I'm coaching a tournament right now in Iowa, so it's blazing hot in this damn room. They're trying to fix this damn.
Still waiting to hear back from the maintenance company, $50 a fan.
Ooh.
But they're reimbursing them.
Shit, damn near $400 a night to stay in this motherfucker. We about to get a fan. They better come fix this shit. Fury versus AJ, then he can retire. Or Fury. Okay, so I'll say this. On the UK front of things, that's a fight that I think definitely need to happen. Being that both guys are from the same country, man, that fight has to happen. But to me, it's just that whoever wins that Usyk and AJ fight should be fighting Fury next for Undisputed. And low key, man, I still want to see Wilder versus AJ, to be honest with you. Fury was capping as soon as he said, I might retire, I rolled my eyes, he's going to want Undisputed. Yeah, there's too much. Come on, man. Why leave that on the table? Yes, there's guys like me to think that you are the best heavyweight in the world, but don't leave Undisputed on the table. Yep, he did. Zoni came back and beat Marquez. I ordered that fight. Fury was, let me see. King says, I only believe Fury kind of off if he drops that belt, then I know he's taking a break, but I agree with you. Yeah, he might do that, but in Fury's mind, just like when he stepped away from the sport, and people come up what they believe why he stepped away. So whatever you believe, I'm not here to argue, it was drug tested or he went on the drug binge. Okay, whatever reason why he stepped away. Even when he stepped away, he was saying, those belts are mine. So in his head, those belts are his. So if he were to retire, he'll just look at that WBC like, man, that's my belt. You know what I mean? You just holding on to keeping that belt warm for me, man. You ain't see But Fury likes that type of shit because then he can walk away and say, I didn't lose it. I didn't lose the title. Y'all just keeping it. Hey, you're a paper champion. I didn't lose the title. You know, so he can still ride with that. You know what I mean? Let me see here. MG is here, says, I don't know about Big Baby Miller. I want to see what he looks like off the juice. I can definitely understand. He says he might be a completely different fighter and lose the stamina. Yeah, because remember, when he was, I guess, on the juice, even though we don't have proof, but people are pretty much putting it that way because he's popped so many times now. It's kind of like, duh, right? But we don't have proof, right? But his stamina was crazy. His work rate was crazy. You know what I'm saying? The do-up fight, just in a lot of those fights, man, he had crazy work rate. Sitting here watching the Celtics Nets, man. Fat Man says, agrees. Zone 6 says, Fury will fight AJ, too much money on the table. Yeah, especially out there in the UK, they're going to go crazy. Even if there's Americans that say, I don't want to see that shit, okay. Just like nobody wanted to see the Dillian Whyte fight until 90-something thousand people showed up, I guess, tonight to watch that fight. You think Wilder done, bro? I'd like to see Wilder fight one more, man. Oh, you answering Kings. King said you think Wilder done with boxing. Now, when dudes start going out making songs and making music and just doing other stuff that they, at least that I didn't know they were doing. Maybe Wilder was, you know, dropping, you know, 16s and bars and all that the whole time and we didn't know about it. But once dudes started doing that, he's just enjoying life. And there's nothing wrong with that. He done made a, you know, everybody knows the story, right? And to reach where he's reached, it's kind of incredible, man, with his skill set and where he came from and how late he took up boxing. You know, so he might be at a point in his life, man, that trilogy took a lot out of him, man. So he might be in a point in his life, we just want to enjoy his money, enjoy his family and his kids, man. And I wouldn't be mad with that, you know. But like I say, these dudes get that competitive itch, man. He in there spitting 16s and writing bars and making music. And sometimes with these fighters and athletes, that ain't enough no more. You know, I want that feel of getting back in the ring, getting back on the court, getting back on the field, or whatever sport that you're playing. You know, so maybe those competitive juices may start flowing with Wilder, but hopefully he's not. I'd like to see another. I think I would like to see another fight with him because Fury was able to stand up to bombs and get up and still fight on and then stop Wilder, that doesn't mean everybody's gonna be able to do that. However, I will say now that fighters have seen him beat up, they're not gonna be as timid now. But you still gotta watch out for that right hand. Again, just because Fury was able to take it, don't mean you're gonna be able to take it. You know what I'm saying? And fight on and win the fight. But again, though, once people start seeing you get knocked out, lose, think that you're making crazy excuses, they don't look at you the same no more. They're not gonna look at you the same. They may say, oh, he's never had a skill set. He's never been this, been that. Okay, cool. But you looked at him a lot different when he had that 0 in his loss column and draw column. People look at him differently. Now, I be seeing people think 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different guys can beat him in a lot of people's opinion. Fat Man says Froch was counting. He says Carl Froch was counting heads at the gate. That's what I heard. I mean, I'm not really big into that type of talk, man. But that's what I heard, like 90-some thousand, which is a lot of damn people. But it is what it is, man. First rounds with me says, I see Wilder retiring on a KO of somebody else, not the other way around. He's too prideful. Yeah, another fight that I didn't do a breakdown or anything on was that Luis Ortiz and Charles. I'm not, switching tracks a little bit, but that Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin fight was a good fight, man. That Ortiz, Martin, and that Arreola and Ruiz was some really good heavyweight scraps, man. King said it was 94,000. Okay, we're 94,000 people, man. And I don't know how much the tickets were. I really don't give a damn. I really don't even care about all that. But 94,000 to watch you fight is a lot of damn people. Because there's some people you can tell them you can get in for free and they still won't go watch you fight. You know, so people say, oh, they're giving away tickets. Okay, we still got to be somebody worth going to want to watch, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you can give tickets. People try to give me tickets to go watch the Twins game. I don't want to go watch no baseball. You know what I'm saying? So people still got to want to watch you, whether the ticket prices are looked at as being cheap or they just gave them away. People still want to come there and want to see you fight. But hey, man, I've been here for an hour. I ain't gonna talk your ears off, man. I'm not gonna make no promises, all right? So I ain't gonna say I'm coming on tomorrow, but I'll try to drop in and drop some content, man, when I can, when I see fit. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump off, man. I appreciate everybody coming through. Y'all be easy, I'm going.